Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin our international webinar shortly.
Welcome to the SEAMOLEC annual report for this year.
Check. Honorable the representative of SEAMEO Secretariat, Honorable the representative of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Indonesia, Honorable Board of Directors of SEAMOLEC, honorable speakers, partners, and the committee of this international webinar, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the international webinar on digital design to improve your career for exploring tools and techniques. We are sincerely grateful and appreciate your participation in this webinar. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aji Wicaksono, and I am honored to be your master of ceremony for our today's webinar. SEAMOLEC initiated this webinar to explore a variety of powerful digital design tools. Expert speakers will provide an introduction on how to use these tools to create compelling educational materials which will inspire participants to apply it to their teaching. This session is designed to empower participants with the knowledge and skills needed to leverage digital design tools and techniques effectively, enhancing both the teaching methods and their professional growth. Ladies and gentlemen, now allow me to present the agenda of our opening ceremony. We will first have the SEAMEO color presentation, followed by the welcome remarks by SEAMOLEC Director, Dr. Wahyudi. After that, we will have a special remarks by Director for Learning and Students Affairs of the Directorate General of Higher Education from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Indonesia. And this webinar will be officially opened by the Deputy Director for Program and Development of SEAMEO Secretariat. After that, we will have each speakers to do their presentations, and there will be a questions and answer sessions at the end of all presentations. And the last one, but the closing, we will share some announcements regarding how participants could get their e-certificate. And to begin the ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, let us now enjoy the presentation of SEAMEO Color. Ladies and gentlemen, let us proceed to our agenda. May I invite the Director of SEAMOLEC to deliver welcome remarks. Dr. Wahyudi, you may have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, Mas Adil. Okay, our wonderful MC today. Honorable Mr. John Sina, Deputy Director of Programs and Development from Senior Secretariat, representative from Ministry of Education and Research of Indonesia, distinguished speakers and moderators, esteemed participants, and our beloved committees, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon and welcome to all of you joining us today, and welcome to our international webinar on digital designs to improve your careers. It is my great pleasure to open this event, to welcome you, and I'm delighted to see such a diverse group of educators, professionals, and also enthusiasts gathered here today. First and foremost, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed speakers from Indonesia, Mbak Agatha, Mas Pantet, Malaysia, and also the Philippines. Your presence and willingness to share your knowledge and experiences are greatly appreciated, and we are eager to learn from your insights. Ladies and gentlemen, the objective of this webinar are multifaceted and crucial for the achievements of educations in our rapidly evolving digital world. We aim to introduce the fundamental digital design concepts for educators who wish to stay relevant and effective in their teaching methods. Through these webinars, SEAMOLEC also wishes to explore digital design tools and software, as there are numerous tools and software available that can significantly enhance in the educational experiences. Expert speakers in this webinar will also share their best practices on how to incorporate digital designs into your teachings and professional developments. Digital design skills are not only beneficial for improving our current teaching and practices, but also good for our professional growth. In today's sessions, we will also have the opportunity to network with fellow participants, fostering community of practice that can support our ongoing learning and development. At SEAMOLEC, we are committed to empowering educators through innovative trainings and resources. I encourage you all to actively participate in these webinar sessions, asking questions, and also engage with the speakers and your peers. Please enjoy. Thank you for joining us today. I wish you a productive and inspiring webinars. Together, let us harness the power of digital designs to improve our careers and making a lasting impact on educations. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will back the screens to our beloved MC, Mas Aji Jackson. Mas Aji, back to you. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Wahyudi, for the remarks. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a special remarks by the Director of Learning and Student Affairs of Higher Education, Professor Dr. Sri Suning Kusumawardhani. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, distinguished speaker, esteemed participants, dear colleagues. My name is Sri Suning Kusumawardhani. As a representative of Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology of Indonesia, we are delighted to extend our full support to the Siameo Regional Open Learning Center, SEAMOLEC, for organizing the international webinar on digital design to improve your career, exploring tools and techniques held today. Ladies and gentlemen, in today's digital landscape, the importance of digital design cannot be overstated. As we navigate through the 21st century, digital competencies have become crucial for career advancement across various fields. This webinar serves as a timely and significant platform to share insight, best practices, and strategies for utilizing digital design in educational settings. We commend SEAMOLEC for its unwavering commitment to fostering educational excellence and for providing opportunities for lifelong learning through initiatives such as this webinar. By bringing together international experts and enthusiasts, SEAMOLEC is not only enhancing individual capabilities, but also contributing to the progress of our societies. It is our hope that this webinar will inspire participants to harness the power of digital design, to push the boundaries of creativity, and to implement the insight gained into the respective career and academic pursuits. Skill and knowledge shared today are integral to shaping a future where technology and innovation drive sustainable development and improve quality of life. We also take this opportunity to show our support to such initiatives that enhance the quality of higher education in Indonesia. In conclusion, we wish all participants a productive and enriching experience. May this webinar add to new ideas, collaboration, and advancement in the field of digital design. We look forward to the fruitful discussion and outcome that will emerge from this event. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, we're moving to our next agenda. May I invite the Director of SEAMEO Secretariat Bangkok that will be represented by the Deputy Director for Program and Development, Mr. John Arnold Siena, to deliver his remarks as well as officially open the webinar. Mr. John Siena, sir, the floor is yours.
Our esteemed colleagues from the Directorate General of Higher Education of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology of Indonesia, acknowledged resource speakers coming from various educational institutions across Southeast Asia, dear participants, officials, and staff of SEAMOLEC. On behalf of the Director of the SEAMEO Secretariat, Datuk Dr. Habiba Abdul Rahim, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this international webinar on digital design to improve your career, exploring tools and techniques. As educators, instructional designers, and aspiring digital creatives, the ability to effectively utilize digital tools and techniques is crucial for enhancing teaching and learning, developing engaging educational content, and advancing your professional skills and career prospects. This webinar is designed to address these important needs. The SEAMEO Secretariat is honored to join you in this event as it aligns perfectly with our mission to promote innovative technology-enabled education across Southeast Asia. We recognize that in today's digital landscape, equipping educators and learners with the right digital design competencies can have a transformative impact on the educational experience and student outcomes. Technology has to be harnessed to utilize its full potential to transform education in the region. The SEAMEO Secretariat is proud that SEAMOLEC has been at the forefront of our efforts to infuse technology into the educational setting in Southeast Asia. Your contribution to the attainment of our mission and vision has been consistently significant, benefiting our stakeholders in the region. I therefore give my sincere congratulations to all of you for all these accomplishments. Over the next few hours, you will have the opportunity to learn from renowned experts on a variety of topics, including graphic design, animation, video editing, among others. These skills are not only valuable for your professional development, but can also be leveraged to create more visually appealing, interactive, and impactful educational resources for your students. I encourage all of you to actively engage with the speakers, ask questions, and share your own experiences and insights. Together, we can explore the vast potential of digital design and how it can empower you to enhance your teaching, improve your career prospects, and ultimately inspire the next generation of learners. Once again, on behalf of the SEMEO Secretariat, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the SEMEO Regional Open Learning Center for organizing this timely and relevant webinar, as well as to the resource persons and experts who selflessly shared their time and expertise. I wish all the participants a productive and enriching session. I now hereby declare this webinar open. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John Siena, for the remarks and for opening this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, proceeded to our next agenda, presentation and discussion sessions, which will be led by our moderator, Ms. Nuril Asifah Misbah, or Ms. Eva in short. She is a lecturer at University of Pembangunan Nasional Veteran Jakarta in Communication Studies. She graduated from Medical and Cultural Studies at Kacamata University. One of the classes she teaches is Visual Communication. Her research focuses on feminism, gender, and the visual representation of women and minority groups. Ms. Eva, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Aji, for the opportunity. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's really nice to be here and to be part of this meaningful event. Okay, allow me to introduce myself once again. My name is Nuril Asifah Misbah. Most of my friends call me Eva, just like Mr. Aji said. And today I am going to be the moderator for this international web seminar held by SEAMOLEC Universitas Terbuka, themed Digital Design to Improve Your Career, Exploring Tools and Techniques. Okay, we all know that the rapid development of digitalization mediated by advanced technology has been changed the society and the way of people doing something. One prominent example is in the field of education, especially the presentation, where the educators need interesting presentation materials, both of the content and the design. Digital design has been used for these past years to enhance the learning experience of the students, and it significantly creates the more engaging, interactive, and effective learning. Furthermore, digital design also supports the skill needed in build your career. From this international web seminar, the participants can find out the fundamental of digital design concepts and its importance in the educational sector, the various digital design tools and software, the practical techniques in designing for teaching and professional purposes. Okay, right now, the capable and the authoritative speakers has joined us here. Each of them will provide some perspectives on variety of powerful digital design tools. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speakers. Okay, I will greet our speakers. Hello, Ms. Agatha Macy. Good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Agatha Macy is from Universitas Multimedia Nusantara. And our second speaker is Mr. Daden Fatur Rahman. Good afternoon, Mr. Daden. How are you? Yeah, Mr. Daden is from
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Nice to meet you. Okay, Mr. Daden is from Paramadina University, Indonesia. And our third speaker,
Nice to meet you too.
Mr. Sam Chentong, Good afternoon, Mr. Tom.
Good afternoon. Hi, everyone.
He's from Tuanku Abdul Rahman University College, Malaysia. Okay, and our fourth speaker is Mr. Zakaria Cito Alburo Jumawan, LPT, MBA, HTM. Good afternoon,
Good
Mr. Jumawan.
afternoon and mabuhay. Greetings from the Philippines.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to
He's
meet
from St. Paul University, Dumaguete, Philippines. Okay, we have all the four speakers here, and thank you for all the speakers. Thank you for taking time to be here and sharing perspectives and also knowledge with all of us here. Okay, now we'll go straight into the first presentation from Ms. Agatha Macy. Today, she'll deliver a presentation titled Overview of Digital Design and its Relevance in Education. Ms. Agatha Macy Chandra has been a lecturer at Universitas Multimedia Nusantara since 2012, yes, in visual communication design. In 2017 until 2021, she and her team developed an interaction design major, which is evolving. She is involved in an international founding committee and is a secretary in Asia Digital Art and Design in the Indonesia chapter. Jury at Taiwan Student Design Competition for digital animation. Her research focuses on digital interaction as information design and training. Now, she is a doctoral student at National Cheng Kung University in Tainan, Taiwan. Very remarkable. Okay, please welcome Ms. Agatha Macy. Time is yours.
Thank you so much, Mbak Nuril, for the good words. Let me share my screen first. King Snappy is a man and in through in the last 6 years. So I've been doing the teaching in 2012, since 2012 in visual communication design in Universitas Multimedia Nusantara. It's a private university in Tangerang, Banten, Indonesia. And during its long time, I'm teaching in the animation department and with my team developed the interaction design, which is at that time, it's quite new. But nowadays, I heard it's also evolving in quite a good way. And my education background, I actually graduated from the university for my bachelor degree and my master degree in Institute Technology Bandung. And now I'm ongoing as a student in doctoral degree in National Cheng Kung University, Tainan. And the others, I also involved in some organization for some quite related with my research and interest in Asia Digital Art and Design, which the center of this association is in Japan. And I also have a chance to become the animator in the NSP. So this is what I've been done, a little bit related with what we want to talk today. So the first one is Simigapi. It's a virtual reality simulation. It's actually the target is for children for elementary school to simulate how is the mitigation eruption, which is we know that Indonesia have a lot of eruption mountain, and when this was made, the Merapi, the quite popular mountain in the Java Island, it's a very populated island in Indonesia, as you know, it's an erupted. So I think at that time the issue is really good for develop these things. And the next one, the right one, is I do this with my students and the college as well. So it's a spell week. This is like in hybrid game. It's a board game as well, but also using the VR, like Google Cardboard, to make a map, a spatial. This topic is from the like a heritage, the fort that has been abandoned so many years. And I think it's a quite good topics as well. And this is what I've been done in Universitas Multimedia Nusantara. I think hopefully this is still ongoing because since last 3 years I've in Taiwan. So the lab one is interaction design. So if you have time, please take a look the Instagram on it. The lab one is interaction design UMN. So it's actually under visual communication design. And this is what we done or what we have to do so far, like for example, like prototype day or what kind of activities that we've been done in our university. And the right side is it's called Kurawal. Kurawal is yearly activities on or event for exhibition, what we have done and we show to the outside audience. And the next one, we come back to our topics. This is what the outline, what we want to talk in this part. So the first one, I think it will be good for us to more know about the fundamentals, how the education and technology can be connected and how it can be create the experience for teaching. And the second is teachers and students. It's also, I believe it's also can be designers. And the next one is digital design nowadays. And for example, I will give you so many outline or insight in this part. And the next one is what will be the future. So this is from the beginning part. So maybe some of you have a educational background, like pedagogical background. This is I think this is already so familiar with you. But I think it's maybe just for reminder again. So I take some frameworks from TPACK, the Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge, which is built by three major courses. The first one is technological knowledge and pedagogical knowledge, content knowledge, and all of them is bounded by the context itself, which is this framework has 7 components. And through this one, if it can be easy transform into some sort of theory, I think this is the first is pedagogical knowledge. It's kind of like, I know how to teach. I know how to manage our classroom. I know what kind of theory that from the pedagogical side. And the next one is content knowledge. Is I know about the history. I know about art and design. I know about the science and so on. And for the other one is technological knowledge or TK. It's I know about technological tools. I know about the hardware and I know about the software as well. And intersection between them, for example, for pedagogical knowledge and intersection with the technology, we'll have the TPK. TPK is in the number 6, technological pedagogical knowledge here. It's in which way the technology can improve the teaching and learning better. So we as a teacher have to consider about the practice-based learning, the collaborative learning things, or we have to manage the classroom and etc. So maybe in this part, we can have a personal pace record in each student and long distance learning or virtual teaching assistant. And TCK is intersection between technological knowledge and content knowledge. In this part, we can think about in which way technology can expose the content better. For example, like if the content talking about history or about art and design, it also can be exposed by simulation or you can just interactive display and so on. And PCK is just a simple one, I think, but it's not as simple as it, I believe, because it's just like have to know the pedagogical deeply and you also know the content deeply, and intersection between them is I teach the topics. But all of these things, we also have to consider about the context in general. So for example, we have to consider about our socioeconomic structure and how is the vision and mission school at that time. And TPACK in the center part is we have to think about balance all the elements to learning teaching experience with technology. And this is, I think, the core concept we as the teacher have to consider a lot. And the next one, why we have to consider that, I think we come to the next theory that maybe something have a relation because Egger-Dell's cone of experience is want to improve the teaching and learning experience. So this is the original Egger-Dell's cone of experience as presented in audiovisual methods. Actually, this is the third version of Egger-Dell's cone of experience because he have to consider a lot of changings of media along the history. As we know, nowadays we can use the laptop, but previously we didn't use any computers at all. So the first one, the first cone is the verbal symbols, which we can transform into the text. And the last, the very below part is direct purposeful experience. So it's directly doing what we learn. So it's in the top part is more abstract experience, and the lowest part is more realistic experience. And maybe if we doing the Googling about this Dell cone of experience, maybe you can find some percentage. But some research also academic arguably very strong. They said like the percentage have not been proven yet. So I think this is quite safe for us to see this picture as it is. So the next one is we can think more about what is actually digital design. Digital design is a fast field that encompasses various design disciplines, including graphic design, illustrations, user interface design, user experience design, animation, and much more. I think because the combination about various design disciplines, it also makes me think about what my previous teacher said to me, because designers have to be like a sponge that we can absorb very fast other kind of knowledge, and we can spread it in the delivery in a good way. So as also in the design digital in here, we also combine all of the discipline, and we share it, and we present it in a very good way. Things. So I think as well as a teachers and students have a beneficial to become designers. They can open the collaboration and can talk each other by some consideration, like thinking about the other's kind of perspective about learning and teaching. So this is actually the simplest way process of creative thinking. Actually, it's also can be used for the digital design. We start from research ideation and we do the design and we apply it. But during the process, because this is also the creative process, in the middle, usually we facing the chaos, the chaos line. So while this is happen, we do a lot of evaluations through the time, and we make it more better and better for the end of the product of digital design itself. So the complexity of the process, it actually depends on what media that you consider to use and what content you want to provide, and how many numbers of participants that involve. For the perspective as a teachers, I think in this part we can consider back again to TPACK, like the pedagogical, what kind of pedagogical method that you want to provide to the student or you want to achieve in your classroom, and what the tools that you already know very strongly. It can be hardware and it can be software, or it can be a hybrid between it. And what is the content that you are expert on? And you also have to consider all the context it is. And through this process, evaluation is the important part. So this is more the complexity of the iteration design, because it's repeated again. If we see in here, the design and evaluation, we do the repetition. So the method, we can say the iteration in digital design process. In complex digital design, the iteration process is really needed. And the collaborative design process can be done. You can do it between your teachers, between, for example, like a parallel classroom, then you want to achieve some certain understanding and you want to do the design process on it. So you can discuss between the teachers, and also it also can be built the teachers and the student as well. And the whole process of iteration can be opening discussion between all the participants, thus open possibilities to collaborate between any perspective. Okay, so this is what the basic skill teachers and students have to know for design, digital design and technological skill that needed is actually visual sense. Through the visual sense, we can improve the mood and we can boosting what they want to learn. For example, we also know about the layout. Layout is for which part we have to put the color, which part we have to put the illustration, and what shape or which one the white space we have to consider about. And also the typography. The typography is about not about decorative typography, but also how it can be read easily by the students and how it can be deliver the message and emotion as well by the phone, by the type phone that you choose. And also the color theory is also important because I think it's also really a lot of mood or a lot of emotion that motivate your students to think about what you want to provide. And the next one, because I think design nowadays is also about collaboration part. So we have to consider a lot about communication, and we have to skill to connect and manage the ideas, because the ideas is very, very much, and we have to narrow it down. So it's so important to have these skills. And this is how is the digital design and education nowadays. So actually, the digital design for learning can be applied in many ways. But in this session, I think the important is we can know about the simulation and information design. This is the simulation. Simulation is, if we remember the Egger-Dell's experience, then we know the simulation is more realistic for students to involve in what they're learning. So we want to using the simulation to improve the experience, and sometimes we also ask them to interact with the media and between all the students itself. So nowadays we know about the extended reality, which consists of these three things. The first is augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality. What is distinguished between them is about the degree of immersion. So for the augmented reality is about low immersion. So it's like simply thinking about the AR is the technology is basically like a barcode. If you buy something in the supermarket and you scan the barcode on it, and it can come up with a price, but in AR, we scan some objects or pictures, and it also will call the visual assets to come out, and you can interact on it. And in the favorite side is very high immersion. It is the virtual reality. So we are in the real world now, and we try to jump into the virtual world, the world that haven't exist, and feel of fully immersive in digital environment. And in the middle of between them is also mixed reality. We can decide this also by consider the three things as well, like pedagogical things, the technological, and also the content. I try to remind you again, because not all of the content and not all of the technology are worth it to use this part, because we also have to consider for the easy example is, if we teaching in the city part, maybe it will be easy using this various kind of technology, but it also will have a slightly different if you teach in the rural area, that we actually have a limitation of acceptance technology in that area as well. So, so still related with this part, this is some product that have been produced nowadays. The left one is the virtual speech, is virtual reality media for learning languages. So for example, we learn about the French language, so we can use the simulation and we have the dialogue with the avatar inside. They will give us some situation that ask us to choose which one the answers, available answers. And also the middle one, I think we use it now, the Slido. This is for the discussion and question and answer for the seminars. And the right side is the Labster. Labster is one of, I think it's quite popular. It's to build the chemical laboratory. So actually, sometimes we use this virtual reality because we also consider about the safety, about the efficiency and effectively while we study. Because in the labs there, for example, maybe we want to reduce some obstacle or a risk if something happens and it's not like blowing up or yeah, kind of like that things. And the next one is information design or digital display. So for example, this one, the infographic is using the pictures as it is. It also can give the information quite detailed for the students, depends on what you want to give or what kind of things that you want to give information for the students. And the right side is animation. I think this is we can see a lot of these things in YouTube or in Google while you're Googling. And the next one is like infographic in AI maps. And the right side is the cardboard about cash flow. So even through this, we can do the interaction between students and teacher or between students and students or teacher and teachers. And this is also the display that has been provided by Arts and Culture of Google. So we can use it for our experience by seeing what happened in the real museum in the other world, in the other part of the world. So I also interest with this part. This is a scratch. This kind of like this is one of the platform developed by MIT Kindergarten. So it's used to teach the children to learn the coding. But what it is happen is based on the right side methods. So the user have start from the imagine and they have to create something and then they play it and then they share it and reflect it, and it is the looping and like iterative style. So the Scratch itself is quite an openly interaction. It's similar like Lego, but Lego is more like a toys. So nowadays we can see Lego as a if you wanna play with the robotic style, we can use the Lego, or you want to see from the art piece, is also can be used by Lego. So it's very big things that we can use for the education things. Or other things is we can add the gamification on the education system. Okay, thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Agatha, for the presentation and for the insights. Your diagram which show the intersection between the knowledge and the technological skill, and the combination of them creates the interesting and meaningful learning teaching experiences. Like to consider digital design from the perspective you offer to us. It's amazing. Thank you, Ms. Agatha. And now we are moving forward to our second speaker, Mr. Deden Fatur Rahman, as he will share with us about digital collaborative platform ideas. Mr. Deden Fatur Rahman is a design practitioner who have worked with various national and international clients for more than finished degree in international design business management in Europe. He entered academia, embedded his collaborative and design leadership skills, applying them to his education practices in visual communication design major. Many of his recent projects and researches utilize design thinking, development, trend forecasting, branding, UI, UX, and animated content creations. Okay, now please welcome speaker, Mr. Deden Fatur Rahman. Hello, Mr. Deden.
Hello, Kanolil.
Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Mr. Deden. Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Sure. So let me start, but before that, let me share my screen. All right. I believe you've seen the screen already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good afternoon. It's really an honor for me to actually meet everyone, fellow educators and practitioners, especially in academic world and also probably in design field. So as Ka Agatha have shared the fundamental frameworks of the importance of embedding digital tools in pedagogical context, today I'm going to share with you some more practical case studies or best practices in using digital collaborative platforms in teaching. So for me as an educator, it's inspired by my previous practices in Europe, especially during my master's degree in Finland, where I facilitated a few or some design thinking based workshops for real projects and real startups. It was actually one of them are from Helsinki and another one was from Rotterdam. So basically, this design thinking approach was used to gain insights and also collaborate between different stakeholders, different users, for example, and of course, the important people in the company themselves, which of course design thinking was actually has been actually used for collaborations. So when I started my journey as a teacher, as an educator in visual communication design major, I was thinking, why not trying to embed some concepts of design thinking to the actual classrooms. So basically, it's all about collaborative learning. And collaborative learning is an educational approach where individuals work together to achieve shared learning goals. So everyone knows what to achieve from the collaboration. And it involves students to actively participate in discussions, in problem solvings, and projects in a group settings, which of course it's really helped everyone to construct knowledge and to be inspired collectively rather than individually. All right, so why we need to practice or to try the collaboration learning or collaborative learning? First of all, it improves critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Everyone will have a chance to actually ask questions, to contribute, and to collaborate to each other. And it facilitates social interaction and communication skills because, of course, when you're in a more collaborative settings like this design thinking inspired collaboration, you will have to tell your ideas. You have to respond to others and all that. So yes, it facilitates the communication and social skills. And of course, it enhances digital literacy and technology proficiency. Because today, as we saw in the previous presentation, a lot of digital platforms and softwares are out there, and some of them are paid ones, but some of them are free and everyone can access it. So being able to actually apply these to the teaching world, it's really helpful for both for the students and also for the teachers. But if it was more of the reasons based on the research, but my versions, why do I really like to, as much as possible, include collaborative learning in my teachings is because, firstly, it's very engaging, because there will be lots of visuals, and it makes people want to interact and to be part of it. And it also triggers engagement. And it's very comfortable because it creates psychological safety environment, which is the term that I personally heard the first time in Finland. It's actually the psychological term that explains how is the environment or the situation can be felt safe for everyone to actually give opinion, to ask questions, to comment on something. And by using these collaborative platforms that I will explain after this, it actually makes the class experience more comfortable. It allows different people, including more introverted, for example, to actually be involved to the discussions. And so it's actually the third reason, which is inclusive. So it means no one left behind. Everybody and everyone can contribute. So in the picture, I mean the picture at the bottom is just one of the hybrid classroom. But the other one is actually the platform that we used, which is Miro, to basically ask them to draw themselves, draw their avatars. And it's actually an ice-breaking activity, so they can tell what's their mood and all that. So we as a teacher can actually know how to position ourselves and to plan for the material for the day. So what are the platforms or softwares that I personally have been using for this collaboration between students? I mean, of course, there are a lot of design softwares, but not all design softwares are, first of all, free. Not all of them are free, and not all of them are, I think, effective enough for triggering collaborations. So I think these two platforms, Mentimeter and Miro, are the ones that I regularly used, and it's quite also affordable, which was mentioned actually by Ka Agata previously about Slido. So Mentimeter is something like that. So you can see that it's basically embed data visualizations. So it's like surveys, but of course, it can do functions based on your classroom needs. And the second one is Miro, an online platform that was actually used for design thinking or brainstorming. So it's a whiteboard for ideation where everyone can do things at the same time that you can see. the cursors are moving here and there. So we already we can know how many of our students actually interacting and working on it and give ideas. So I will dig a little deeper into these two platforms. So first of all, Mentimeter, it is useful in my case to create pre-evaluation because in some cases you don't know how deep or how comprehensive your students' level of understanding about each topics or each courses. So you may want to make a pre-evaluation that is more interactive during inside the classroom. Because who will actually fill out forms outside the classroom? I think it's only a few people will actually fill out forms. So with this more visuals and more interactive platforms like Mentimeter, which is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's more affordable than Slido. I mean, you can have the free versions of it with some limitations, but it's already enough for I think teaching needs. And the second thing, it will help you to communicate expectations between the students and also from the teacher. So we can already know how, what the students actually want to learn during the course or during the lectures, but also we can also communicate our our aim for the whole classroom, for the whole courses. And the last thing, which is very functional, is to make students in groups, because based on my experience in Helsinki, they have a lot of ways to actually make or gather like-minded people to work as a team. I mean, it's not necessarily having people who have, for example, who are close friends and work together, but we can actually create teams that have similar interests, similar hobbies, or stuff like that, which is we can do this by using platforms like Mentimeter. I will show you how all these three functions can be approached with Mentimeter. So the first one I said to create pre-evaluation. This is something very simple, but actually it's useful, very useful, and also it's very engaging for the students based on my experience, because everyone's want to scan the QR code. Those who are kind of bored or those who are, for example, more passive, usually want to contribute as well. So I used questions like one word about the subject. So one word about that I used in these keywords. They think multimedia is animation, design, editing, visual, and all that. Virtual reality. I mean, as I mentioned, that it can help to measure the overview understanding of the class, so I can know like what do they think about each topic or its subject. And I also used the Mentimeter platform to ask them, for example, their favorite theme or topic, because during this multimedia, no, this is for animation, because during this animation course, of course, I don't know if the students want to make, for example, more 2D animations or 3D or stop motion or mixed media or something else. So by having these types of ranking visualizations, I can already know that a lot of people actually like 3D animations and also 2D anime, which is more Japanese oriented. But I can also, communicate with them to adjust their expectations that in this course, we only do the 2D animations, but they are, of course, permitted to use, for example, more Japanese types animation aspects, or, for example, Western animation styles. And it also helped to communicate expectations. So I can have the, what is it? Open-ended, I would say, open-ended question about what are the most interesting things they think they want to learn from the course. And a lot of people actually tell how they are expecting to learn since the beginning they enroll for the course. For example, they want to make animation from scratch. Indeed, obviously. But for example, they want to learn about character, and I can communicate and reframe the expectations from them and also from my side. And this is also another way to communicate expectations about what do you think is most challenging aspects about every topic or course or theme. And for example, they say something very challenging. I'm sorry that this is from with in Indonesian language, but something very challenging from stylomatic or animate, making details, time management, to actually draw, and some of them are actually making jokes, which is totally fine because that's actually the point. The point is to something, even though it's a joke, they will want to see what's on the screen and they will basically be involved in the overall class. And this is now the way that I use to that I do to matchmake students in group. So I ask them with this ranking feature about the subtopic that they are most interested in. Is it animation movies? Is it music videos? Is it short movies? Is it social media advertisements or TV ads? So I already know that a lot of my students actually like or want to be part to make film animation movies. TV ads is least favorite. So no one, not many actually want that. So at this point, I think I forgot, but I think I facilitated all of the interest, but at least I can already make some slots about how many groups can do animation movie, how many can do TV ads or something like that. And another way to make students is to ask what are their subtopic or their theme that they're already focused on. So for example, most of them are already creating stylomatic and animatic, and only 6 of the classroom do stop motion. So I already know that there will be one group for stop motion and for example, 3 or 4 groups for Stilomatic and Animatic before I create the way for them to sign up for each group. All right, so I think that's all for Mentimeter. I believe some of you have already used it, but as long as I know, it's usually used for more ice breaking and probably also for questionnaire or surveys, but it also can be used for other things that I mentioned. So the second one is Miro for education, and the reason why I say this is because for educators, Miro Premium is free, so you can actually apply as an educator, and then you will get unlimited words and some premium features. And Miro can be used to create inclusive environments where everyone is triggered to collaborate actively and to generate ideas. And like I said, about psychological safety, no ideas are judged. So we will not say that your idea is stupid or lame or something like that, but everyone can just write their ideas there. And then the whole group can decide later if they want to use the ideas or not. And it can also be used to build shared knowledge which I will show you later how they can be inspired and build ideas from each other. And the last one, it can be used to collect honest feedback from the students. So if you're not familiar with Miro, I will play this video just very quickly. So basically, as if you see this, there are cursors moving everywhere. So the cursor represents the user or the students, and also the teacher, of course, any user that open the link. And basically, you can do things together here. So as I mentioned, this is inspired by design thinking approach where you actually use sticky notes, post-it notes for collaborations. All right. So how do I create inclusive environment with Miro? So this is one example. Of course, I try to make it as engaging as possible. So they will assume that this is a safe place for them to interact. So first of all, in this case, I facilitate them to create their own avatar from these elements here. So they can take some shapes and they build the body, the eye, the hands, and all that. And they give name to these avatars. So everyone is basically able to join and able to express themselves. And then this is also, I think, one of examples of, this is the Miro board from one of my students, one group of my students. Basically, they can discuss things online, if not from video call like this, but they can also leave their thoughts inside the platform. So it's basically like an unlimited size whiteboard where they can doodle, they can write ideas and all that. All right, so the second one, Miro can be used to build shared knowledge. So you can have, so the students group can have all the information about each project inside one whiteboard. And for example, this is used for a design thinking course, and they can have all the phases of design thinking, including the empathize, define, ideation, and all that with inside one document. But also they can have all the behind the scenes materials inside it, including their discussions and all that. So it's easier for me to actually track their progress and their contributions. And this is actually one of the most favorite part of Miro for me, to collect honest feedback. So as you have seen that they created their own avatars, and after that they will leave some comments about how they feel about the course or some. It's actually based depends on your questions, of course, but I think the question for this was, what is your thoughts about the whole experience of this classroom? And some of them say it's challenging, it's fun. Some things that it's very cool, it's making it's confusing as well. Like some of them wants to surrender, want to cry and all that. So, as I said, it's inclusive. Everyone can express themselves, because if you have to write an evaluation forms, then things there will be very formal. But from here, it's less formal. It's more, I think it's more engaging and more, I will say, precise, because you can see both sides of excitements and frustrations. And these are also another examples of the honest feedback. As I mentioned, yeah, it's a lot of things written here in Indonesian language, but basically, as I said, a lot of them are making fun of the questions, which is fine, but some are actually answer questions seriously. And of course, as a teacher, you'll go sometimes emotional to read all of this. All right, so I think that's from me. I don't know if I still have time, but basically that's from me. If there's more time, I can actually show you the platforms, but if no, then I'm open for questions and comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dadan, for your presentation. And for the question and answer session, it will be the last. So I will proceed with speakers. And it is interesting how you open our mind that collaboration is the key in design, and also how you relate it with thinking, and how the design has the capability to create inclusive environment. It's very interesting. And I'm sure our participants here are being helped by Mentimeter and Miro, including me. Thank you once again, and I'll learn and also practice using it for my next class.
Thank you, Kanuril. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Glad
and
to
now
hear.
I am going to invite. Okay, and now I'm going to invite our third speaker, Mr. Tong, who give a presentation titled "From Concepts to Creation: Leveraging Multimedia Design to Enhance Your Career." Don Sam Chen, seasoned academic with over 15 years of experience in instructional design and technology. He holds a master in instructional design and technology, motion graphics, digital illustration, and digital media literacy. John's research focuses on the pedagogical benefits of digital media, exploring how teaching and learning experiences. As an educator, he is dedicated to mentoring students and developing innovative courses that blend theory with practical. Don is also an active participant in industry conferences and webinars, sharing his insights and staying updated on the latest trends and technology. His work significantly influences the integration of digital media and education, making him a respected figure in his field. Okay, Please welcome Mr. John. The time is yours.
Thanks, our moderator. I share my screen first. All right. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Mr. Don Tam. All right, I'm from Tunku Rahman University of Management and Technology. I think the moderator has pretty much introduced myself. So yeah, um, uh, first of all, I would like to apologize that I don't use the PowerPoint for my presentations. In fact, this is the one of the way of presentations I would like to introduce. Yeah. Previously, I have been using a lot of PowerPoints for my presentations, for my lecturings. And I do find that there's a problem with the student engagement, especially when we lecture on time. So um, recently, I found a methods that is the best way to actually to make student more engagement, more engaged into the lessons. Of course, our fellow speakers before me has explained quite a lot, for example, using a mirror. All right. So I would like to offer a alternative way to present our keynotes presentations in our lectures. Yeah. So yeah, so from concept to creations, leveraging multimedia design to enhance your career. I would like to just basically to share my experience in how I deliver my lessons, okay, through online teachings, and how I achieve a high engagement from student learning. Yeah. So yeah, of course, as an introduction, so the shift of online educations, okay, it created a need for innovative teaching tools. I always tell my students, especially my multimedia students, that we must aware about the new development of technology, okay, especially in the communication technology. The reason is that because we are the one who creating the contents. The content is very important, and is where how we can deliver our message to the audiences. Yeah. So today I would like to share with you guys how I use two apps, okay, that I use most for my lecture sessions, which is the concepts, and also recently I start to use these apps called the Mentor Canvas, which is still under a very conceptual phase, and how I going to explore it more. Later I will share with you guys how these tools can best use for teaching as alternative way to create more engagement of lessons. Yeah. So before that, let's talk about some history of myself, how I get into all these presentations and also honey teachings. So this all started in 2016 when I studied my master's in instructional designs, whereby we look research into how online learning is like, and how does the pedagogical learnings and teachings occur for in the process. So in 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 the process, of course, I do found that the network learning is very important. Okay, network learnings in 2016, that was at the beginning stage where there is a lot of unknowns um, facts that how learning can occur through online. Yeah, in 2016, we are looking at the LMS, learning management systems, basically like Blackboard, Schoology, and even Google Classroom. And and of course, the university we started to adapt into the hybrid teaching and learning. Right, we just use the learning management systems, basically the use for sharing documents, discussions, and of course use it as tools to for assessment. But of course, it was not really used as a full um, as a full tools for teaching and learning. Yeah, because we still very focused on how the physical classroom, right? So of course, at the time, when I look into this the whole network itself, okay, um, this network is very important to actually for the students to build their own personal networks. Okay, the way how they learn, right? Of course, there'll be arguments that how others social networks that they can be included in their learning lessons. Um, some people will argue whether the social network is, for example, like Facebook's, Instagrams, even now TikTok, is it a good platform for learning? Of course, there are a lot of things to discuss about the effectiveness of using the social network, but nevertheless, there are a uh, the platforms for them to share their ideas as well. It's where I believe there's a lessons that can be delivered as well. All right. So of course, when they form their personal networks, okay, they have their resources online, for example, like on the research gates. Of course, YouTube, I think the students like it the most especially when I teach animations, um, and of course some digital illustrations. They all like to watch YouTube's for get some ideas, and it is very challenging for the lecturer as well because students tend to know a lot skill than us because there's so many informations. So for us as educators, we also have to have our own learning networks to learn what student learns, right? To understand what student understand, all right? Because whenever they come to ask you questions, you have to have extra knowledge before they can question the questions, right? So there are many more resources that the network can be uh that they can build in for their personal network areas, right? So when they have the personal network area, so their learnings is constructed with whereby they construct their ideas, they construct their understandings, all right? Um, and I think this is a very good way for their self-learnings, right? And beside that, they are more equipped, okay, more equipped, and before they come to class, and they are able to share something that beyond the syllabus can offer, right? This is what I found it in 2016, and I found it this is very good, and especially when that these social networks. But however, of course, when we have the world pandemics in 2020 when the COVID strike, all right? So we need a new teaching and learning approach because there is a problems, right? There's a problem because it's the learnings is no longer hybrids, right? We were caught at homes, everyone stay at home. The only thing that we for our teaching and learning is online only, right? So so the primary problem with the online learning is that the difficulty in maintaining student engagement. That's what I want to bring about today's the engagement and ensuring effective knowledge retentions. That's the thing. Because before that, when you build your personal networks, you can have a physical networks, you can have a virtual networks when you in your learning. But in 2020, the thing is that we are all caught at home for the pandemics. So that is a new approach for us for the educators have to find ways to actually um, to offer a better teaching and learning, all right? Because the absence of the physical uh, presence and direct interactions, okay, can lead to lack of motivations, decreased participations, and lower levels of comprehensions. And this is very, very true, right? Because you never know what happens in the other end of the networks. Okay, student might be sleeping, they turn off their videos, right? And yeah, that's the thing. And because of the full online teaching and learnings, so we have a very limited of interactions, right? And beside that, there is technical challenges. Okay, um, the internet's maybe connection is not good, right? And most importantly, the privacy. That's the thing. We are not, we cannot actually to ask students to open their their webcams during the class. All right. First of all, maybe if everyone open the webcam, the line may be dropped, And of course, because due to the privacy issues, students opt to turn off their cameras. So we will never know what happened the other side. And because of this, we have to always talk to ourselves. I remember, I think everyone facing the same problems whereby we all talk to the in front of computers, like talking to ourselves. Or maybe there are one or two students will engage the learnings, right? And they also don't really like turn on their mic and talk. They probably just type their message in the chat, so we answer through the chat. uh yeah, that's the things that I have faced. So of course there's a mental and emotion impact, and especially when students cannot catch up with the learning, right? So technologies is something that we need to um research into it so that we as educators, we can really implement and fully utilize it in our teaching. So that is need identify and implement innovative strategies, tools that can enhance engagement, interaction, learning outcomes in an online education environments. Now what I'm showing right here, this is the whole lessons that I actually share with students normally. So beforehand, I have this whole lecture notes instead of uh, PowerPoint slides, right? Instead of PowerPoint slide, they have overview pictures. They can zoom in. This is the concept apps that I would like to share with you guys now, right? So the good thing is about this app is that we are able to visualize, right? Visualize the whole thing, right? When we zoom out, we see the whole structures, the mind maps of how the lesson can be connected from one to another's, right? And these files can be shared to students as a very high-res PDF. So when students receive it, they can zoom in, they can write it with iPads, right? Drop their notes from this. They can add on their informations into the slides, all right? So visual is very important, okay? Humans are visual learners. 65% of the population learns better visually because we can remember visual. Okay. Whenever I zoom out, people can see the whole thing. Sometimes I will plan to draw something in the process when I lectures, and sometimes when I have something that just come into my mind, I just draw. I just draw. I just draw, and so that the student really look into it, looking forward what am I'm doing, right? And and a lot of times I like to quote movie. I like to quote movies in my lessons because some of the movies are really good, about the technologies, how it can relate to in the multimedia's animations. So I would like to draw. I like to draw a lot. The thing is that it has to be very active because whenever there is motions like this on screen, right? It, students tend to watch it, right? Instead of looking at the stagnant PowerPoint slides, all right? They get to see something that actually is going on, right? It's a live drawings, right? Live drawings, and visual aid can improve learning by like this can add up 100%, right? So effective lesson delivering using a live drawing app. All right. So this is what we're all about: real-time illustrations. Bring concept to life by drawing like diagrams, charts, illustrations during the lessons. It can be very fast. Sometimes we just draw something really fun, students just laugh at it, you know. And we also can highlight key points and clarify some complex informations. All right. And of course, we do can have a lot interactive features like live posts. All right. It just writes student names on it, who want to to work for this one. So it's a very interactive ways to actually to deliver your ideas and also using this app as well. All right. Of course, there are many apps that actually can deliver using these methods. What I would like to highlight is this live drawing presentations, live presentations. Yeah. So of course, this requires some of the um, techniques, right? Techniques. First of all, you must For my experience, you must have a very clear mind when during the presentations. But of course, the thing is that when I prepared all these lessons, I wrote down. It's like in the mind map form. I technically remember what I wrote because I do find that when I create my PowerPoint slides, I tend to forget what is next slides. I think most of us we happens in this way. Sometimes we forgot and we try to jump here and there, and the slides go haywire. You cannot find the information that we want. But when we have visuals, when we construct our informations using a mind map type of presentations, we we tend we tend to remember because of the visual itself. All right. So of course, beside all this, I think we must always feel calm. All right, feel calm. All right, I'm trying to tell myself to calm down. For this presentation so that I can draw something. Feel calm. So that your mind is clear and to draw some things, all right? And yeah, something that is more interact. It's more interact that you can actually to pinpoint at when there's emotions on screen, all right? When there's emotion on screen, okay, people tend to focus looking at it, all right? So I'll give you examples like in art course, like let's say if you have heard of this app called Procreate, right? So we can actually just direct draw on it, all right? Now the drawing on the tablet on screen is not a new things, right? Back 10 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, we don't have such privilege to have this kind of technologies. In fact, we have it, but it's quite pricey at the time. Now with the tablets, with the on-screen drawing tablets, we are easy to utilize all these technologies that to draw, right? There's one time I actually explained to students how a iPhones actually are being built and telling the story, the history of the iPhones, you know. So basically, I draw the iPhones and make comparisons of different phones, this kind of that. Why the the developments is like this and that, Yeah, there's so many potentials way to actually for um for me to explore into more into this kind of a presentation whereby I can actually zoom in and out and go back to where the points that I need to highlight, and of course at the same time I also can actually show my works to students, you know, and explain things and show highlight some of the areas that I where you should focus at, you know, yeah. Okay, so this is the overalls of the concept acts that actually um help in my lessons recently, at least like 1 or 2 years that I found out, and one of my mentors actually introduced this app to me. Yeah, and one more thing is that of course I still use PowerPoint and keynote presentations. Yeah, because not all the topics that I am able to actually to write into this kind of form. Sometimes we do need some proper um, arrangement for your presentations. Yeah, sometimes, right? Because you cannot use one style of teaching or one style of content to deliver all the lessons, right? Even if it's interesting, maybe you show a few times, after that people get bored, so we have to come use a variety of methods. So because of that, and then recently actually I look into another app which is called the mental canvas, right? So I do see some of the uh similars uh similars how do I put it, ways to actually to for me to present my ideas, right? But it has a very interesting features which is allowed with this 3D, which I would like to show you guys now. This is a mental canvas, right? So it allows a 3D view, right? So basically, you can just form very interesting layouts like a classroom. For examples, I can go into here. So mental canvas, okay, it can creating a very engaging content, all right, and it can be an interactive storytelling, okay. interesting, and it can be a personalized learning as well. All right. So, and it's really interesting because sometimes you can do something like hiding things, right? You know, you want student to find something in the 3D space, right? For example, like where should I go? All right, so I think this is this one. If you can see, zoom in and see, there's a small little man here, right? So yeah, these are things that they actually want students to engage the learnings, right? So they find something interesting, you might ask them to find during lessons, right? So yeah, and of course in this 3D space, it can be a very good tools for storytelling because it's 3D form, all right? So and enhance the online learning as well, actually, right? So and improve student engagements, okay? So to build this one, you can use a various tool to actually draw. Either you draw 100% in this software, Mental Canvas, or you can construct or draw in the Photoshops, or you can use Canva, or you can use Procreate. I want to share with you this, that the whole picture itself is I construct in less than, I would say, 15 minutes, the whole thing. All right. I use Photoshops and use the AI generative field actually to create the image for me. All right. Then after that, I import all this image and put into the mental canvas, and I basically make it presentable in this 3D space, whereby you can look at this is how it looks like. Okay. Now this is a very simple arrangements. Of course, you can have a lot of things to draw a lot of things, and make it more interesting. All right, from hiding some mannequins inside the or sort of hiding some figures inside the learning, so that our students to find, you know, and you basically can share the whole thing as a videos, okay, um, for students to learn. All right, so I want to talk about what is the advantages of using live drawing um for delivery lessons. I think first of all, I think we all need a skill for drawing. All right. Um, but always I tell everyone that anyone know how to draw. It's just that we are so afraid to draw. All right. We're just afraid to draw. Drawing is a way to actually communicate. All right. If you can draw something that actually can communicate, people can remember the information very well. And of course, the second thing is that the disadvantages of um the using this kind of live drawing tools is that um of course we need a lot of times for preparations. All right. I have been transfer all my lecture slide into into this kind of formats from time to times. I do find that it really take times. But if you really can really transfers the information into these methods, okay, you this kind of digital tools, I believe some of the lessons can be delivered effectively, and of course the engagement is very high. Right, the engagement for students is very high because they see motion here and there, so that they can really work on it. All right, so I think that's uh my presentation. So yeah, hopefully this is clear, and so I will pass the time back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Mr. John. Your presentation material is new and interesting to me, very impressive. And thanks for addressing our shared problem here, Mr. John, about the student engagement with online learning. I faced that in my class. And your approach with live drawing application is fascinating. And I'm really curious, how long have you been using the drawing application, and how are your students' reaction to it?
I would say it's about a year only for this kind of techniques or the methods that I use, and I do feel like students' engagement is higher, and I find that there's more, especially online class, there's more students that willing, they want to talk something, because they see something interesting, they really want to, to give the comment, even things not related, at least not boring. Not boring, you can
Yeah.
throw something very funny into it.
Okay, I really need to learn how to use that application. Okay, once again, thank you, Mr. Don, and I will proceed with our next speaker. Last but not least, let's welcome our fourth speaker, Mr. Zakaria Gito Al Guru Jumawan LPT MBA HTM. He will share with a practical perspective about digital design. His presentation is titled Unleashing Creativity, Embracing Digital Design in Today's Classroom. Mr. Jumawan has been an esteemed educator at St. Paul University, Dumagute, where he has been teaching at both the Basic Education Department and the College of Business and Information Technology for the past 7 years. His expertise has also extended internationally as a guest lecturer in the Philippine language program at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and the University of Michigan. Since 2021, Mr. Jumawan has served as a supervisor for the Professional Regulation Commission's licensure examination for professional teachers. His dedication to education and was recognized in 2021. He received the Outstanding Teacher Award for managing mental health of students during the COVID-19 era from the Global Education Summit and Awards. Very remarkable, and time is yours, Mr. Jumawan.
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you, Miss Noriel, for that introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I am so happy to be here, and this is my first time joining this conference. And I hope to all our viewers who are with us, maybe you can chat your current location now so that we will know until where we are reaching this live stream. Because this talk or this seminar is not just for us educators, but for everyone who are interested of embracing digital design. Maybe others are commenting, but I cannot see. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. And as of now, we have many viewers joining us. Thank you so much. Technology is really fast in its, life. It evolves time from time. Before we just have our digital dictionary, and now we have our laptop. And just this morning, I had my training with Apple Education. I recall that I was using Apple since 2005, and it was so thick, and now Apple laptops are very thin. This time, education is very challenging because people who are managing educational institution belongs to different generation. And us teachers who are teaching the students, we also belong to different generation. And our students, they belong to different generation. There is a gap between our generations. But as teachers, we really need to fill in that gap so that we will be able to do our tasks as educators. One of which is to embrace digital design in our classroom. Are you ready, everyone? I guess you are all ready. So in the traditional educational context, what you have seen in my screen right now, this is the traditional educational context wherein we put words and a title and ask the students, can you read this for us? And then the students will be reading that the Philippines is an archipelago over 7,000 islands, blah, blah, blah. Because we assume that when students read statements, they also comprehend. But after reading, and then we do follow-up question, the teacher will be saying, okay, any classmate that would like to help? How about any other answer? Because students will just read without understanding it. But in today's education, it is better that we do like this. We integrate digital design in our classes and we put images. With this, we teachers, we have to ask HOTS question or higher ordered thinking questions. So students, what is your observation based on the photos flash in your screen? So you will see white sand beach, natural resources, mountain, blue waters. How many blue colors? We have three. We have light blue, dark blue, baby blue. So we are asking higher ordered questions to our students. And when we do that, our students are engaged in our class because they know that in your class it's not just merely about words, but there are presentations that will ask them. From the previous speakers, we learned a lot on how we can integrate digital design in our class. Now for my sharing, this is already my for my sharing. I am sharing to you my experience on the impact of digital design in the modern classroom or in today's classroom. Okay, here are some key points. Okay, in an educational setting, this can range from designing engaging presentations to creating interactive multimedia projects. So when we say digital design, this will not only cover your presentation with lots of colors, but also interactive multimedia projects. From our previous speakers, they gave us a lot of examples and applications wherein the students can really engage in their class in the digital form. You know, in the Philippines, we have this internet challenge wherein our connection is not that fast, but we always improvise. Okay, so though we cannot have most of the examinations online, but we can have it using paper and pen. So as teachers, we should always be creative. Okay, and we allow our students to get their attention. We get the attention of our students and enhance their understanding. Why I'm saying we need to enhance their understanding? Because as teachers, when we say, okay, if you don't have digital design, if you don't have presentation, students will have different thinking of what, or different thinking of what you are talking to them. Example, when I say, okay, think of a flower. Your flower may be orchid, but the flower that me as a teacher is telling you, or is presenting to you, is a rose. So there should be connectivity between the flower that I am talking and the flower that the students is thinking. That through digital design we'll be able to connect, because that is our mission as educators. We need to connect so that we'll be able to transfer knowledge to our dear students. And always remember that you, as a teacher or educator, you need to make your class very interesting so that students will be excited to attend your classes. Here is a challenge, because digital design, it allows students to do problem solving, critical thinking, and solution making. Here's a challenge. In a traditional way, we use words, but in the digital design, or in the modern education right now, we use pictures. So, dear students, what do you see in the Pasig River? What are those things floating in the river? You ask them higher order thinking questions. So they will say plastic. Why do you think there are plastics on the river? What's the who put this garbage in the river? So what do you think will be the solution? And as we are talking about digital design, we are not only limiting to photos, but we can also have videos. Later on, I'll be telling you what are the applications What are the AI applications that I am using to help me as an educator to present well and make my class more interesting in line with digital design? Let's just watch this video.
Pasig River is crying. Yes, it's that serious. Pasig River, once the lifeline of Manila, is now one of the most polluted rivers in the world. This river used to be clean enough to swim in, but now it's filled with trash, chemicals, and waste. Why should you care? Because this river affects everyone. Dirty water means more sickness, fewer fish, and flooding. Yikes! But hold on, we can make a difference. Together, we can clean it up and bring life back to Pasig River. Simple acts like not throwing trash in the river and joining cleanup drives can make an impact. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Pasig River needs you. Win. Let's save it one step at a time.
So see, instead of you talking, describing Pasig River, describing the pollution that the people cause to Pasig River, in instead you who will be giving solutions, it's a virtual video made by AI that will help you. And students, people will always say teachers are always tired. Well, because we always do all the talking. But well, in fact, students will only listen to us for 10 minutes, 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Okay, so we need to slice the time, that 10 minutes. Okay, so we can use AI to generate video to make our class more informative and engaging. And according to research, that digital design can enhance students' learning and experience. So instead that the teacher is just describing, think of this river with pollution, with many garbage. So the students will be able to visualize through, or they'll make their own interpretation through the video that you've shown them. Okay, it is a published study in the International Journal of Educational Technology found that students exposed to digital design activities demonstrated improved problem-solving skills and creativity and critical thinking abilities. This is based on the research of Smith and Jones 2023. Now, because of digital design, this encourages students to think outside the box. Because students right now, they have their own gadgets, they have their own laptops. Sometimes their gadgets are more advanced than ours teachers. So you can ask the students to make a logo, to make many things using their gadgets, and you'll be amazed because the things that, or their outputs that they made are things that that amaze us, because they can make it. They can make an output, an expectable output with quality, because they think outside the box and approach problems or multi perspectives, fostering deeper understanding of complex concepts. So here, let's meet some digital design tools and softwares that I use. Number one, for presentation, it will depend if you're teaching in grade school, in middle school, or in a university. You can select what template you'll be using. This template that is being flashed in your screen, this is more likely for elementary because it's more colorful. The one that I'm using, it's for talk like this for professional and young professionals, okay, or educators. So this is Canva. And Canva, they are paying people to make templates so that Canva Premier user, okay, can search and download templates. So see, you can also earn from making templates. Later on, we'll talk about that. And for generating posters, you can use Gemini AI. By the way, I am not premium into this platforms. I'm just using the trial. And remember, my dear educators, that when we use artificial intelligence, the output will depend on your command. So if your if your prompt is not good or detailed, then the output will not be detailed as well. So again, AI will not replace educators. They will just help us. And the output of the AI will depend on our command and our prompts. Then the next one, the video that you saw a while ago on describing Pasig River, it is made by InVideo AI. Again, it is not premium, it is a trial account. So you can use that. So here is an example of another example for AI video.
If your dreams of Paris cost less than a croissant for a Pobreng travel, traveling the world doesn't have to drain your savings. With Pobreng Traveler, you'll find tips to explore amazing places without breaking the bank. From snagging cheap flights to finding budget-friendly accommodations, we've got you covered. Ever thought about couch surfing in Barcelona or volunteering in Brazil? Our community shares real experiences and insider secrets to make your trips unforgettable. Plus, we sprinkle in a bit of humor to keep things fun. Because who says you can't laugh while hunting for fun? Join us and let's turn those travel dreams into reality, all on a shoestring budget. Subscribe now and start your budget-friendly adventure with Pobreng Travel.
So see, that video is promoting my content on Pobreng Traveler. Pobre means poor, traveler means, traveling. So I asked InVideo AI to make a Pobreng Traveler video. So they made that, okay? So now I would like to share with you the time lapse that I took 3 months ago when we still have our classes, wherein I integrated digital design, and you will see, and I will let you observe how the 50-minute class ran. So this one is already their examination. And happy to say that all of them passed the exam and even others perfect the exam. So as you observed in the previous time lapse, all students would like to answer. All students would like to share their ideas. And if you notice in the presentation, because it was a bread and pastry class, so I was using pictures and other digital design outputs to really let them engage in my class. So aside from using digital design in our class, it can also help us educators. Let us highlight now how digital design skills can enhance educators' career and create new opportunities. In today's rapidly changing educational landscape, educators equipped with digital skills are at the forefront of innovation. It's not just, for our class, but it is an innovation. These skills not only enhance teaching practices, but also open doors to various career opportunities. Number one, it allows us to grow professionally. As educators who are experts in digital design, there are high demands for us. There are even courses. I mean, there are even programs that would hire teachers with digital design skills, and we are into it. We are now going in, we are already traveling into that path today. So when we integrate technology and curricula, and when we master it, we become the change of the world, the change in the education. We are the bearers of the light from traditional to modern education. So with that, we are inspiring as well. And you know what? If I may share, in our school, there is this teacher who is about to retire. No, to retire, and she's very updated with what application to use, even reading articles and researches on how we can address the learning styles of the new generations. So it is not the age that will stop us on learning on digital design or innovation on how we can be a better teacher in our class, but it is our eagerness to grow despite our age, despite our number of years in service. And if you are able to really grow professionally with your eagerness of knowing things that would help our students, then you are inspiring them. You're inspiring your co-teachers, and they will wonder, oh, she's about to retire, but how come she's very updated into this? So maybe uh we can also ask and consult her or him on, you know, what are the applications that we can use. So see, aside from your professional growth, you are also igniting other educators to become like you, who is eager to know more things that would help the present generation learn more and be interested in their classes. The second one is collaborative projects. In our country, we have a lot of subjects. I don't know with Malaysia and Cambodia. We have so many subjects wherein students are, somewhat exhausted on making their projects, because if we have 8 subjects, they need to make 8 projects, right? Or outputs. But with the digital design right now, example, with the digital design, we ask them to do collaborative projects. Example, in history, they will be asked to tell, or they'll be asked to make a video on telling other nationalities of our history. So other subjects can be included there, like mathematics, your time, how many minutes would you allocate for introduction, for the main story, and for conclusion. And English, like the script, what will be the flow of your story, introduction, climax, and conclusion. And history, because you need to research on the history. So students will be more engaged with other students, or teacher will be more engaged with other teachers, because they do collaborative work. And with that, we are also teaching our students to be to be to join a community, wherein after graduation they'll be joining communities, or they'll be dealing with other people, with other personalities. So this is interdisciplinary, and this is cross-disciplinary teaching. And the last one is second to the last, sorry, online teaching and content creation. There are a lot of teachers who are doing online education, wherein they upload their lessons in the YouTube. Okay, then they earn from it. Some students will subscribe, some students will support their teachers, and some teachers, even me, I made an online course on how to make a simple content creation, making video on TikTok. Then students will be subscribing to you, they'll be paying you. So see, aside from you being a teacher in a university, you can also earn outside the university, in the YouTube, in TikTok, in Facebook, and any other platforms. Okay, so you expand your reach beyond traditional classroom. So teachers will not just say, okay, this is our lesson for today. Okay, you can check my YouTube account, wherein I discuss there the different types of travelers, the different places that I've been to. So see, it's not just inside the classroom; they can also learn in other platforms. And now the students in this generation, they always consider YouTube as their second university. If they don't get your lesson in their classroom, they will go to YouTube, they will search the lesson, and there is a teacher who is making a content about it. And then they will say, oh, I got the lesson because I saw it on YouTube. So see, learning is not just inside the classroom, but also in other platform. And if we are the teachers, okay, if we are the teacher of that student, we better embrace digital technology, so that they will not go to YouTube, because they will be enjoying our lesson inside the classroom. And that will only happen if we really embrace digital design in our classes. And number 4, entrepreneurial opportunities. Digital design skills empower educators. They really empower us into entrepreneurial endeavors, such as creating educational application for those who are into IT, ebooks, Okay. If you're like me, I am part of licensure examination, so I can make an ebook on what to do during examination, before the board exam, after the board exam. Okay, what are the preparations, what are the documents needed. you know Fresh graduates or new students, they would really love to know things. And since you are an experienced educator, since you've been to the stages that they'll be crossing, so they want to learn from you. Okay, so aside from being a teacher, you embrace digital design. You make contents. You can make an ebook on how to pass college. What is the best course for me? you know Young generations right now, they always seek for advice through books, through they seek advice through books, YouTubes. If you want to visit the Philippines, you will immediately go to YouTube. What are the best islands in the Philippines? How to get there, and then you check blogs on websites, so you can earn from ebooks and other online platforms. That this will allow educators to share their expertise and impact on a wider audience. So for me, as an educator and as a traveler, I share my travel experiences and travel guides and tips through TikTok and Facebook. And some people would even sponsor your trip. Isn't it nice that you go to other places for free? According to the report of the World Economic Forum, educators with digital design skills are more likely to experience career advancement and job satisfaction. The report highlights that these skills enhance teaching effectiveness, fostering creativity, and equip educators with tools to navigate the digital age confidently. So, regardless of your age, if you embrace digital design, if you unleash your creativity as an educator, because educators, we always tell our students that learning doesn't stop from class, we learn every day, right? So the question now is, how can we reach to the new generation? We can only reach them if we go to the things that they're in, such as digital age. And with that, as we embark on this journey of unleashing creativity, in conclusion, embracing digital design in today's classroom is not just a choice, it is a necessity. Whether you like it or not, digital design in today's classroom is a necessity and a must. Not unless you want to be the boring teacher, not unless you want to be the not so interesting teacher. But I hope that, and I believe since you are here joining us here this afternoon, I believe that you really want to enhance yourself, your career, you being as an educator. So it is a necessity to embrace digital design. By introducing educators to the fundamentals of digital design concepts, exploring various tools and software, providing practical techniques, and highlighting the enhancing opportunities, we are paving the way for a brighter, more innovative educational future. As we embark on this journey unleashing creativity, let us remember that our role as educator is to inspire, to empower, and equip our students with the skills that they need to thrive in our ever changing world. By embracing digital design, we are not only transforming our classrooms, but we are also preparing our students for a future where creativity knows no bounds. Thank you, and aim to make your class the most interesting and engaging experience possible. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. Jumawan, for the presentation. It is really enlightening to know how visual images can stimulate high-order question and critical thinking. And talking digital design, however, is not only talking about the development of technology, but also how this technology facilitate the human need for always growing and evolving, like you said. Thank you once again, Mr. Rajubawan. And now we will begin the questions and answers session with our speakers. I'll read the questions. Okay, first question is for Miss Agatha.
Yeah.
From Corey. In the creative process, how do you overcome creative blocks or low inspiration? Do you think it is better to do it yourself or brainstorm with a team?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Well, actually, for the creative blocking, I believe almost all of the creative designers or people also facing it. And there are a lot of tips and tricks that already available there. And I think we can try it, but somehow the most important is which one is fit with us. While I thinking is the creative, it's not about we think very wild. I think the discipline about time management and also discipline about the process is also important. And somehow it also helps me if I step back from a while what I've been done, and I take a time or just step back and think about the big picture, what actually the purpose of these things should be, and which one is the not important things and which one the obstacle that might be not necessary to do. And I think one of the important as well is somehow while we're doing something or we just walking or we just talk with friends, somehow some pop up in our mind like a little bit ideas, then it's so just jot it down, just write in your notes or just bring it somehow the things that you can remember it later. For example, if you are a very visual person, then you can take photo, or you are very audio person, you can just record what you say. I think like that. Yeah, it's really different people. Yeah. Hopefully it helps. And about the brainstorming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the second part is about the brainstorming. It depends on what is the idea that we want to decide. For example, I think the brainstorming, the important part is we find the good partner who we want to brainstorm with. Some people think while changing the whole idea is giving the solution, but actually it's not really like that. Or actually, we have to find other kind of perspective. For example, I'm from the design. Maybe I also have to talk with the doctor from the healthcare center, or from my colleague, or same students with us, and not narrowing down the ideas. It's also the purpose of brainstorming. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Agatha. I agree with you. Sometimes take back for a while from what we've done is really important.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Agatha.
Yeah, very welcome.
Then the second question, okay, to Mr. Deden Fatur Rahman. How do you compare students in Europe and SEA in terms of collaborative work with regards to their critical thinking or problem-solving skills? From Anita.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Nuril and also Anita. It's really a good question. I mean, the surprising fact is that with the right facilitation mindset, I experienced similar way of engagement, either between, European students, I mean, my fellow students, and Southeast Asia students that I teach here, and even professionals and educators. because you saw in my presentations in the beginning, I actually had a session with some professionals there, and also recently I did similar way of collaborations for fellow lecturers of the faculty. So as I said, the way of engagement are quite similar. So no matter for clients, students, one of the most important things is to give them disclaimer in the beginning about this method. For example, basically it's used to build their trust. So for example, the first thing I always tell them that this is the method that is inspired by design thinking that is widely used internationally. So this usually gives them sometimes of trust that, oh, it's been used everywhere. And also, again, I would highlight about the creations of psychological safety environment, which basically try to convince the participants that no right and wrong answer, no judgment. So the point is to make sure that everyone can involve. So that's actually why some of the ideas or sticky notes that we saw had, some jokes there. And because for me, the sign where the psychological safety environment is actually work is when students have started to interact with it, with the session, and they start to make jokes, and they start to make some lauders. So that's when I know that the class is feeling the safety to actually communicate their idea. And I think last thing that these mindsets usually make the student trust the process and brave enough to share their thoughts, either in written, especially, or also verbally. Yeah, so from there, then that's where the discussion happened. That's where the critical thinking happened.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daden. So actually, it's pretty similar in Europe and other areas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll proceed to next question. To Mr. Tham Chen Tong, how to create learning media that suits students' varying abilities from read one. Oh, this is a high schooler from Madiun.
All right. Let me try to understand the question. How to create learning media that suits students' varying abilities. Varying abilities. Try to understand the questions. I'm not sure whether learning abilities, whether it's because of the does it mean even the contents? I think first of all we have to look into the interests of the students first, right? See what they're interested in at, what are the background of their interests. Nowadays we are looking at a very tough time that when educators try to relate the entertainment contents with the students, right? When we mentioned about movie 10 years ago, they basically they actually they never watch it because there's too many contents nowadays. So in effect, when we try to understand that, we have to look and ask them first what are the trends, and also what are the things that they are interested in. And second thing is that when I prepared the lessons, and also and anything that I draw, it must be something that the students are able to uh can echo with it. Okay, the pair of what are things that they're exposed at, right? So things that we expose as like people like us, basically we are in the different world actually, right? Even you mentions those entertainment contents like basically like movies like Marvel Cinematic Universe kind of some of the youngsters they're actually not really interested into it. They are interested in some other things. So yeah, and we have to really research into it. That's what I can say. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the question is refers to student with different ability. How about that kind of student?
Different abilities. Do you means how do I share the contents, or how do I share the contents? Um, that's a very interesting question. uh, uh, I would say if learning abilities, maybe some students fast, some are slow, right? Some students can learn fast, some students learn to really slow, right? Um, I think we have to engage to them and really identify uh, how much they can identify the learnings. Okay, especially for my side, actually, when talk about um, different learning abilities, let's say for example, some people can adapt into software learning. For example, like learning Adobe Animate. That's the software we use to teach animations. Some features that student we just show them one or two step, they understand. But some students that really cannot understand, or they need to follow step by steps. So they even needs a videos that always request for a video recordings so that they can slow down and learn at their pace, at their own pace. All right. So I think for educators, we also have to have the patience actually to share. Of course, we like smart students, but at the same time, some students they they think differently. They have to learn from step by steps, then later they understand how they constructs the understanding, then they can repeat and also create something more creative uh, in, after they have learned it. Hopefully I answer the questions.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Don. Okay, for the next question. To Mr. Jumawan, how do you do the referencing or citation of AI products that you use in your learning material? From Rizka.
Hi, Rizka. Thank you so much for your question. As educator, we need to give credits to those who are, giving us, helping us in our presentations. So basically, we just cite the website, but it's not all the time that I use AI. Okay, it's just an example. Okay, a while ago, but you can grab videos from YouTube and you can do referencing in your presentations. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jumawan. I hope that answer your question, Rizka. Okay, that's all the four questions for our speakers today. Uh, okay, and now I'll ask our speaker one by one to give their closing statement to close our seminar today. Start from Ms. Agatha. Please give your closing statement.
Okay. I think in digital design nowadays, as I said before, we have to consider more about the pedagogical, the technology, and the content, and also collaboration between students and also teachers. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Agatha.
Yeah.
And then for Mr. Dedan, please.
Yeah, I think I would agree with other speakers about the importance of digital tools and techniques in teaching platforms. And most importantly for me, is how the educators can build a psychological safety environment and inclusive environment, and also engaging classrooms where everyone will feel safe to interact, to contribute, and to share their ideas.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dedan. And then Mr. Don.
Yeah, but just about to conclude, I think using the digital tools and the technologies for teachings and learnings, and especially AI, is an inevitable, right? So we have to be ready and also to adapt into all the new technology, because it's going to move very fast. It's going to move very fast, this is for sure, and we have to adapt into it. Yes.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Mr. Don. And then for the last one, Mr. Jumawan.
For me, with the past phase of technology's evolution, educators, we are challenged and we should be adaptive, and we should teach our students how to live 10 years from now. Thank you.
Okay, the presentation from our four speakers was very compelling and open up. Ms. Agatha provided us with a broad perspective in understanding digital design, connected it with a pedagogical approach, and Mr. Dedan, Mr. Don, Mr. Jumawan completed them with various practical examples, use of various applications, and how to create learning materials that are suitable for current learning needs. Okay, it has been my pleasure to moderate today's seminar. Thank you again for all the speakers. I learned as much as our participants do from today's seminar. See you again on another occasion. Good afternoon. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Back to you, Mr.
Yeah, thank you for our wonderful moderator, Ms. Eva. Wait a second, my camera moving. Okay, for keeping the session engaging and talkative, informative and talkative. And thank you for our speakers too. Now we have come to the end of this webinar. Thank you for everyone for joining us today in this insightful webinar. We hope that you've gained valuable knowledge and insight from our distinguished speakers and moderators. I have several infos for you guys before we end this wonderful event. May I present to you the official social media accounts of SEAMOLEC? Yep, as shown on your screen. Please feel free to follow us either on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and etc. there at the screen. Please feel free to follow us to find our newest information regarding our programs. And also don't forget to claim your e-certificate by registering at the registration link and fill out a questionnaire link before 6 August, which is the link should be shown at the screen. The certificate will be ready to download on your e-training account from 12 August. Wait a second. Yep. We would like to extend our appreciation to all of our speakers for sharing with all webinar participants about alternative strategies to apply digital design into teaching and learning activities. We also thank our audience for your active participation and engagement in this event. We look forward to seeing you in our future events. Have a great day, stay safe, and thank you guys.
Welcome to the SEAMOLEC annual report for this year. This year has been one of remarkable progress and impactful achievements in our mission to enhance education through open and distance learning in Southeast Asia. Training remains at the heart of SEAMOLEC's mission. We organize over 170 training programs, reaching more than 10,000 participants across the region. Our training programs range from the design, development and utilization of learning media, e-learning platform, and ICT specialist course to the innovative methodologies of distance learning. SEAMOLEC focuses on how the ODL technology system encompasses a range of methods and tools designed to support education beyond traditional learning environments. Research and development is important in driving educational innovation. This year, SEAMOLEC has undertaken several research projects that explore new updates in education technology. Our research and development efforts focus on developing learning strategies in the digital era, developing adaptations of emerging edtech in learning, and creating virtual reality experiences for immersive learning. One of our flagship projects is to increase access to quality education through optimization of ICT devices at schools with limited internet connectivity. SEAMOLEC has conducted various capacity building workshops for teachers in Papua and Nusa Tenggara Timur, provinces with limited access of internet. The project has shown promising results in preparing the teachers to operate ICT devices for their teaching and learning activities. SEAMOLEC has made significant efforts in this area by leveraging various channels to share insights and resources. This year, we hosted 8 webinar sessions, maintained an active online presence through our website and social media platforms. SEAMOLEC also launched ODILIA, the Southeast Asian Journal on Open and Distance Learning. OAL has become a vital resource for the public. In terms of partnership, SEAMOLEC managed to create new cooperation with 38 partners within the year, consist of schools, universities, units at the Ministries of Education, and other organizations. This year, we have provided consultancy to a diverse range of institutions, helping them navigate the complexities of digital transformation. This year, SEAMOLEC has invested heavily in the professional growth of our team. We hosted over 40 interns from various partners. They have contributed significantly to our projects, bringing fresh perspectives and innovative ideas. We are excited to announce the launch of our new websites, designed to enhance user experience and provide easier access to our resources and services. Thank you for being part of SEAMOLEC's mission. For more information, visit our website at www.seamolec.org.